up, guys? Welcome back to the Strong.Sistas YouTube channel. Today's video is the next video in our nose to tail cooking series with how to cook sweetbread. So in addition to the nutrients on that list, sweetbreads are high in diamine oxidase, DAO, which is a digestive enzyme that helps break down excess histamines. So what in the heck are sweetbreads? No, sweetbreads are not bread that are sweet. Sweetbreads is a culinary term used to describe the thymus or the pancreas organ in an animal. When cooked properly, sweetbreads are really mild tasting and they have a really tender and creamy final product. So we get our sweetbreads from White Oak Pastures. However, you can contact your local farmer at www.eatwild.com and ask him or her to ask the processor to save the sweetbreads in their next animal. So in this video, we're gonna share our favorite way to cook sweetbread. There are likely other methods. However, we have found that this cooking method really delivers a consistent final product that is pretty mild tasting and has really good texture. All right, so here we have some sweetbread. So like I said, we get our sweetbread from White Oak Pastures. What do you guys think? Are these pancreas or is this the thymus? But anyways, the first step is letting the frozen package, if you got it frozen, to let it thaw out. So we just let this sit out on the cabinet, on the counter overnight. And so now it's nice and cold, thawed out. I also have a bowl of salt water here on the side. And I'm gonna place the sweetbread in this bowl of salt water and let it sit in here for about 5 to 8 hours. And then we are going to add the sweetbread in here. So here we are poaching the sweetbread. So we just want to monitor it the entire 15 minutes to make sure that we're at this light bubbling boil. So you can either reduce the temperature or add some ice cubes. So near the end of the 15 minutes, prepare another bowl with some ice cold water and some ice cubes so that at 15 minutes you can pick up the sweetbreads and put them directly into the ice bath. So this is to just get them to cool down because we don't want them to overcook. And leave them in here for about a minute. Then we are going to bring the sweetbreads to a cutting board. The next step is to try to remove this outer membrane layer, as you can see here. This will ultimately help improve the texture of the final product and it won't be as chewy. So I like to use some scissors to try to work through some of this. Alright, so I separated the sweetbread from the membrane, connective tissue, and fat pieces. So you can see there's like a little bit more clear lines, not a big membrane. And so this one had quite a bit of connective tissue and fat. The amount will depend on your sweetbread, and don't stress too much about it. If you don't get all of it off, it's totally okay. You can ultimately eat all of this fat and connective tissue. There's nothing wrong with eating it, just maybe a little hard to chew through. I'm feeling generous today, so I'm gonna give this to the dogs. Gus, sit. There you go, buddy. Good boy. Nellie, sit. You go, Noah. Sit. Good, Marshy. Queen, one bite. All right, the next step, we've got a piece of parchment paper underneath the sweetbread on top of the cutting board. I'm just gonna chop this into a little bit smaller bits. Okay, that should be fine. We're gonna roll the parchment paper over, and then we wanna place something heavy on top. So here we have a heavy Dutch oven, and I'm gonna add other stuff inside of here to weigh it down. And so essentially we want it to be almost smushed underneath something. We're gonna let this sit in the fridge overnight. I'm gonna add a little bit more things inside the Dutch oven to make sure it's pretty heavy, so it's smushing it down. All right, so after a night sitting in the fridge, let's check on the sweetbread. It's a nice smushed down now. So now we're gonna just basically chop these up into smaller bits. Next, we're gonna bring a pan to high heat. Gonna add your favorite animal fat here. We're gonna just use some ghee. So put quite a bit of fat on there. So I also chopped up some fresh herbs. So we've got some rosemary, thyme, and oregano. Just use your favorite herbs there. Ultimately optional. And once the pan is hot, we're gonna add all of the sweetbread and the herbs. I'm just going to saute. So the goal with this step is we kind of want a crunchy, slight crunchy outer layer, and the inside will be super soft, juicy, and tender. So we don't want to burn the sweetbread, but we want this lightly crispy brown outer layer. So this will take about 5 to 10 minutes depending on how much fat you put on, the size of your burner, how hot you got it. So just make sure that you watch it to make sure that it doesn't burn. And the final step is going to be to salt to taste before serving. And now let's give it a little taste test. Sweetbread really is a delicacy. It's really neutral tasting. When cooked properly, it has an excellent texture, highly nutritious. I think it's really tasty. Thanks so much for tuning in, guys. If you have not already, make sure you hit the like and subscribe button so you can be notified with future videos. And stay tuned for our next video in the Nose to Tail cooking series. Until next time, behave like an angel.